This is why you should consider the all-new Ranger Raptor. Starting in the very front, we're going to have our performance LED headlights, which do auto level and auto dim as well as turn. So when you turn the wheel, it turns the headlights. You have your seat clamp, daytime running lights, LED fog lights, front sensors. And then you get your Ford lettering on the grille here, as well as your forward-facing camera. When this camera gets dirty, no problem. Just wash off your front windshield and this camera will be washed off with it. Down here, we're going to find our recovery hooks so that way you can tow your Chevy friends out, and an actual skid plate on the bottom there. Around the sides, we're going to notice 33-inch tall tires. I wish they were 35s. They're not. You could put 35s on here. I've seen it. You do want to do a level kit at that point. But from the factory, these are going to be your BF Goodrich KO3 tire. This has been the first factory vehicle that I know of that comes with the brand new KO3. Now, normally, the Ranger Raptor comes with a platform running board that you would see on the regular Raptors, like the 150. I'm actually pretty happy the previous owner of this truck actually removed them. It makes getting in and out of the truck a lot easier in my opinion, and I'm about 6 foot tall. Going to the very back here, we have our Fox Watts Link suspension. Now, what's important about this is that allows the suspension to articulate better than, let's say, a leaf spring or a couple other different types of suspension systems. In the very back here on the taillights, we do have our blind spot detection. We have our zone lighting so we can turn on the reverse lights when we're stationary. We have LED turn signals and taillights. We've got backup sensors. We got, again, recovery hooks on the very back as well, and even a tow hitch. Now, the Ranger Raptor won't tow as much as a regular Ranger, and that's because of the Watts Link suspension system. Although it does have a bigger motor, the suspension is more designed for, well, where we're at out today. I'll show you that in a moment here. The tailgate does lock when you lock the truck. It is dampened, yay Ford. And on the tailgate, you have C-clamp holders and a measuring stick. This truck comes with a 12-volt socket as well as a 120-volt, 400-watt outlet. I'm not gonna show you every single bell and whistle this truck has today because I don't have the time, and I value you, my favorite viewer. I'm not gonna be like those normal YouTubers that go out there and ask for you to subscribe and like my channel. I will never do that. But inside, we do have a nice Raptor interior. We do have quite a bit of room back here for our passengers. You can see I have my gear here. There is more than enough room for a couple adults back here as well. I'm not really worried about showing you the options and features of the interior of the truck. I wanna show you what it can actually do. We're gonna climb up this dune. I hope it's recording. Yep, it's recording. I'm in the Baja mode right now. And it's gonna keep the RPMs up a little higher. It's gonna turn on its front camera here. And the suspension's gonna be tuned a little bit different. On top of that, it's going to set up the drive system for this specific type of environment, which is pretty nice. So we get suspension tuning, throttle mapping, shift point tuning, steering tuning as well. That's all gonna change based on the drive mode that we're in. So right now I can't actually see over the hood, but this right here gives me the ability to actually see over that. This is that hole we were driving through earlier, right there. And having the ability to see where that hole is or what's on the other side, making sure there's no people walking up here or another vehicle, a small vehicle in particular, or motorcycle, lets us come down pretty easily. Come down here, we'll swing around, head back out. The ability to just move over all those bumps with ease is just freaking awesome. I've never really driven a vehicle out here that has quite this much capability. And if you turn off your advanced track system with your Baja mode active, it does allow you to kind of slide around a little more than what you would normally have capability of doing. Most people think of the Toyota Tacoma as the best midsize truck on the market. I'm going to argue with that. The capability this vehicle has to just drive over all these bumps with ease. I wouldn't do this on pretty much any other vehicle besides a Raptor. We're hitting potholes that I would normally drive over at about maybe 20 miles an hour at most. That's on a good day. But I was hitting those around 30. So to change your drive modes is pretty easy. There's a little knob down here. You just twist it until you get to your desired mode. As I got off that dirt section back there, I wanted to go back to normal. So you just twist it. The 4-wheel drive system turned off automatically. Traction control turned right back on. So there's this little button right here on the right side of the steering wheel. It's got a little R on there. It's called the My Mode settings. What this allows us to do is preset a bunch of different settings in the vehicle, everything from the drive mode, the suspension settings, the traction control system, even the exhaust tone. We can change that all and have it preset here. So with a push of a button, it will change us to whatever our presets are. Pretty cool system. This truck is probably one of the funnest vehicles I have ever driven. It drives like a sports car. It really does. And I'm not just saying that because I work for a Ford dealership. A lot of people will agree with this. This drives just like a sports car with the off-road capability. And when I say off-road capability, I'm not talking about, ooh, let's go drive on a little bit of gravel road here. I'm talking about full-blown rock crawling, sand dunes, off-road, full-blown, that kind of stuff. I mean, realistically, if I didn't care about traffic laws, I'd just run over the traffic curves over here. By the way, these Hydro Flask water bottles, or whatever you call these, fit perfectly in the center console. That whole time I was driving around off-road, didn't move. Most people, when they think about a mid-size truck, they just think about the Toyota Tacoma. That's the first thing that pops in everybody's head. I want to change that. The Ranger Raptor is the best off-road mid-size truck you can buy today. It has one of the best suspension systems with the Watts link. It has Fox shocks front and rear. It has a front and rear locking differential. The ability to change the suspension on the fly at the push of a button is a night and day difference when you're going off-road. The ability to change your steering outputs and your throttle mapping and your shift points is another big no-brainer when you're going off-road with a vehicle. We're gonna back this up. We're gonna rinse it off because it is dirty. And somebody's gonna come out and go, oh my God, this thing is so sandy. Yeah, it's sandy. We live on the coast. What do you expect?